Britain's second longest reigning monarch, Queen Victoria, was born to Princess Victoria and Edward, the Duke of Kent, on the 24th of May 1819 at Kensington Palace. She ascended the throne as an 18-year-old after her father's older brothers died without legitimate heirs, and over her 63-year reign and 21-year marriage to Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, she gave birth to 9 children. With 17 years between the eldest and the youngest, here are the quick-fire fates of Victoria's 5 daughters and 4 sons. And this is Crown Undone. Their first daughter, known as Vicky, was born in 1840 and would be given the title Princess Royal a year later. Vicky was betrothed to Prince Frederick Wilhelm of Prussia at 14, becoming Empress of Germany in 1888 for just 99 days before her husband's death. Vicky had 8 children during her marriage. Her first son, Wilhelm, would become the final emperor of Germany. Vicky died from breast cancer in 1901, the same year as her mother. Queen Victoria's second child and first son Albert, or Bertie as he was commonly known, was born in 1841 and was heir to the British throne for 60 years before his eventual ascension. Despite Victoria and Albert's belief in a strict upbringing, Bertie was a rebellious and extravagant young man. The Prince of Wales married the Danish Princess Alexandra in 1863, giving birth to 5 children that survived to adulthood, one of which was the future George V. Upon his mother's death, Bertie ascended the throne as Edward VII and reigned until 1910 when he died from heart problems at 68. Victoria and Albert's third child and second daughter Alice was born in 1843 and is remembered as a caring and generous individual who cared for her father as he was dying and then continued to support her grief-stricken mother. Alice married Prince Louis of Hesse and the Rhine in 1862 and had 7 children. Her great-grandchild, Prince Philip, would eventually marry Queen Elizabeth II. Alice became interested in nursing during Germany's wars against France and Austria, and even befriended the famous Florence Nightingale. Alice died in 1878 from diphtheria at just 35, becoming the first of Victoria's children to die. Victoria and Albert's second son, Alfred, was born in 1844 and was made Duke of Edinburgh in 1866. Alfred joined the Navy at 14 and eventually became an Admiral of the Fleet. When Otto I of Greece was deposed in 1862, Alfred was elected in a plebiscite to ascend the Greek throne, though he was eventually ruled out of the running. During a round-the-world voyage as Queen Victoria's representative in 1867, Alfred almost became the victim of an assassination plot in Sydney, Australia. Irishman Henry James O'Farrell shot and wounded the Prince of Edinburgh, but he recovered quickly, and Sydney's Royal Prince Alfred Hospital was named in his honour. Alfred married the Grand Duchess Marie of Russia in 1874, and the pair had 4 children. In 1893, Alfred succeeded his uncle Ernest II as the Duke of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, reigning for 7 years before his death from throat cancer, 6 months before the death of his mother. Victoria's 5th child, Helena, was born in 1846 and has been described as the, quote, plainest of the Queen's children. Helena married Prince Christian of Schleswig-Holstein in 1866, and the couple had 5 children together. In 1916, Helena became the first of Victoria's children to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary, and she died in 1923 at 77 after contracting a severe bout of influenza and suffering several heart attacks. Their next child, Princess Louise, was born in 1848. She was naturally artistic and attended classes at the National Art Training School before she became the first royal to work as a public artist. Louise designed a full-size statue of Queen Victoria that was erected outside Kensington Palace among other memorials to colonial soldiers killed in the Boer War, and a memorial to her brother-in-law, Prince Henry of Battenberg. In 1871, Louise married John Campbell, the 9th Duke of Argyll, who was a Liberal MP and would eventually serve as Governor-General of Canada. The couple never had children, and Louise died in 1939 in Kensington Palace at the age of 91. Victoria and Albert's seventh child, Arthur, was allegedly the Queen's favourite. He was born in 1850 and quickly became interested in the military, which he joined in 1866 after enrolling in the Royal Military College. Arthur served in Canada, Ireland, South Africa, Egypt, and India, and eventually became Governor-General of Canada. He married Princess Louise Margaret of Prussia in 1879, eventually giving birth to 3 children. Arthur died in 1942 at the age of 91. Victoria's last son, Leopold, was born in 1853 and was made the Duke of Albany in 1881. Leopold was an anxious child, and it was soon discovered that he had developed haemophilia, a condition that stops blood from properly clotting. Due to his health, Leopold studied at Oxford instead of pursuing a military career, and eventually became an unofficial secretary to his mother. Leopold married Princess Helena of Waldeck-Pyrmont in 1882 and had 2 children before he died suddenly after a fall and subsequent brain hemorrhage at just 30. The youngest of Victoria and Albert's children was Beatrice, who was born in 1857 and spent the majority of her young life being coddled by her mother. Becoming a great companion to her mother after Albert's death, Victoria was utterly shocked when Beatrice announced she would marry Prince Henry of Battenberg in 1885. While Victoria eventually agreed, it was under the condition that Beatrice and Henry lived with the Queen. Henry died after catching malaria on a military expedition to Africa in 1895, and Beatrice remained her widowed mother's companion. Beatrice died in 1944 at the age of 87. They were the quick-fire fates of Victoria's children, and this was Crown Undone.